Good morning and welcome to the Mayor's Press Conference that we have each Wednesday morning after our Tuesday council meetings, where we go over some of the discussions from the night before, make a few announcements of activities going on in the city, and it gives the opportunity for the media to ask any follow-up questions and the public too that could be watching on social media. One of the first things I want to remind people of is that we're coming up on Veterans Day weekend. The office will be closed. City Hall will be closed on Monday, but on November the 11th, from 1 to 4 p.m., we will have a grand reopening of the Columbus War Museum, which is located at the municipality complex. It's in the side hallway near the police department. It's being hosted by the Daughters of the American Revolution. They have been doing a lot of work refurbishing that area over several months. We are looking for a more permanent home for the War Museum, and so we may be talking about that a little bit on Saturday. This event is taking the place of when we traditionally have a Veterans Day parade. We plan to bring the parade back next year. There are other parades in the area. So if y'all are looking for a way to go out and say thank you to our veterans, which we all should be doing, and remembering the sacrifice of so many of them, there are a lot of activities in the, what did I say it wrong? What did I say? It's the November the 11th. Saturday, did I say? Ooh, Monday is Veterans Day, and City Hall will be closed. Thank you, Jamie. Monday, the City Hall will be closed. The event for the War Memorial is Saturday, November the 11th at 2023 from 1 to 4. I have been corrected. That's why I was muted. City Hall will be open Monday. The mayor obviously does not know of what he speaks this morning when it comes. I thought there was a sign in the window saying we would be closed. What is that Veterans Day sign in the window? Did y'all see it? I don't think.
I think it says y'all report at 8 hour days.
What does it say?
8 hour days.
Oh, 8 hours.
You want to start over?
No. This is how it works, guys. Trying to get the information accurate. So we will be here Monday. We may go back and, no, just leave it as, but we will be here Monday.
We're live.
The other event that's coming up this week that's important, and give me just a minute to find it here, is we're having a parent engagement meeting that is being sponsored by the Columbus Recreation Department. It'll be at the Trotter Convention Center, the lower level, this Thursday at 6 p.m. People in attendance for discussions with parents will be the Columbus Municipal School District Superintendent. We'll have representatives from the Columbus Police Department, the Mayor and Columbus City Council, and many local pastors and others will be there for what we think is a very important discussion. So we hope that people will help spread the word and we'll have a good turnout from that meeting. I'm assuming, we'll have it going live as well? So it will be on social media. If for some reason you can't make it in person, you can watch it. But if you would like to talk to someone about more information about that, there's 2 phone numbers you can call. One is 662-327-4935, 662-327-4935. The other is 662-251-4076, and that's for the parent engagement meeting at the Trotter Convention Center, Thursday, November the 9th at 6 p.m. And again, I will repeat, City Hall will be open Monday. The War Memorial or Museum, the Columbus War Museum rededication will be Saturday. All right. So those are the 2 announcements that it took me a minute to get through, but that's there. I think that probably many of you have seen that the work is happening down at the bridge, the old river bridge down by the opening of the Riverwalk. We ask that people try to stay away from the area as much as possible. but I know people are curious about it. The work should be completed, if all continues to go well, by the end of May. So we're hoping that we'll be able to use that area this summer. So that's good news that is moving forward. Last night at the council meeting, we swore in a new firefighter and 3 new police officers. If you would like to go back and watch that on our website, you can. It's a very exciting evening. I think the new female firefighter is now one of 3 that's on the...
She's one of 2, but there will be a third.
Yeah, she's one of 2, and there will be a third one coming on. So that's very exciting news. Our numbers are, both departments are getting closer to being filling all the opening positions that we have within fire and rescue and also in the police department. I commend both of our chiefs of those departments for their hard work in trying to recruit folks into those roles. I've said this before, and I think people know that's an issue nationally, being able to recruit people into the fire department and to the police department. They were telling me back in as recent as probably 2017 or 2018, many times when there was a position that was open, they may have close to 100 applicants, and now they may get 4 or 5. People are not looking at those 2 areas as career paths like they used to, and we're doing all that we can to try to attract qualified individuals into those roles, because those aren't easy positions, and they're very important to the safety of our community. The other, we did discuss last night, we approved the advertisement for the grant writer position that we added in the last budget. We're excited about moving forward on applications for that position. We are already in the process of applying for and receiving several grants that will help the city in various areas, and it's important that we have somebody in that role to try to help us manage them once we receive them, but also help us proactively look for other areas where we can find support for the city from a government level, and also from applying for grants from other resources such as industry and foundations. I couldn't bring up the foundation word there for a minute. We did go into executive session, and let me tell you what we did there. Usually let our attorney speak to this, but he is not here this morning, so I have notes here that I'm going to go and look at, so I can let you know what we did there. We took up 2 matters in executive session. The first matter was a matter of personnel related to job performance of a particular police officer. The council unanimously voted to terminate the officer for on-duty misconduct. The second issue involved discussion of negotiation in a case pending in federal court, the open discussion of which would have a negative effect on the city if we did not talk about it in executive session. The council voted unanimously to consent to allow the city's liability insurance carrier to compromise with the plaintiff for an amount unknown to the council and subject to confidentiality agreement. If there are any questions, the answer is that a civil rights case filed by Michael Geis against the city in the Northern District. We are allowed to discuss the fact of the settlement, but not the amount.
So it has been settled?
They're trying to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had to give them approval to settle. But we have no idea what the amount is, and won't know.
Will it cost the city anything?
Insurance, not the city.
Oh, okay.
But it hasn't actually been settled yet, it's just an approval to
Correct.
negotiate.
That's correct. And if you have any other detailed questions about it, I'd suggest that you reach out to Jeff Turnage, our city attorney. So those are the few things I wanted to report on. It was a fairly quick meeting last night, but I'll be happy to take any questions.
I have a few questions about the grant writer. Can you just kind of talk about the salary range there and about like what the timeline's gonna be and how you're gonna handle the hiring process?
Yeah, well, we will advertise the way we normally do for any positions like that. And we are, I would think we would get that right out immediately. There was a discussion about salary. Did we determine what that was in the? Yeah, 65,000 is what we have budgeted for that position right now. And we will begin the process immediately. We're looking, obviously, for somebody that can demonstrate success in grant writing. I think our minimum requirement was at least 3 years. A background for a writing position like the grant writing position like that is usually somebody with a business degree or something adjacent to that. This person will be writing grants or looking at helping us write grants at the federal government level, the state government level, and then also, as I mentioned before, with private foundations and corporations. Many times when we receive grants, especially at the federal level, there's a lot of I's you have to dot and T's you have to cross throughout the process. Also, when you're writing these grants, it's important to have somebody that has a successful track record because there are so many people who are competing for these grants that many times the organizations require specific responses in the grants to be able to weed some out because there's so many. So you have to be you have to have good experience in this, and it is the type of position that requires experience.
Do you guys have a timeline for when you're gonna start interviewing?
Well, what do we usually advertise for? 2 weeks?
2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks, and as soon as the applicants are in and we have qualified applicants, we will try to begin that process ASAP. I would like to have it done before the end of the year.
And do you guys is there a committee put together or anything?
Not at this point.
The other thing I wanted to ask was just, can you talk about the format for this meeting at the Trotter tomorrow night? I mean, is it gonna be like a panel discussion or people in the audience get to ask questions, or how's that gonna work?
Both, yeah. It's my understanding, this has been organized through the Recreation Department, but I think it will be set up like a panel discussion where the elected officials will be there and some of the community leaders, and primarily taking questions from the audience.
And what are you guys looking to get out of this meeting? I mean, kind of what's the impetus behind having it?
Well, it's always important to, in all communities, to engage with your citizens in a multitude of ways. We all know that there's a lot of concern about our young people having enough activities in the city to keep them out of trouble, right? Also to try to find ways to look for people who might mentor these kids. We've got a lot of great people in the community who at one time in their life, got into some trouble for various reasons, and now they're very committed to trying to make sure that other children don't walk down the same path that they did. We're looking to get feedback too from about other, recreational activities that we can have within the city. Our COO, Jamie Garrett, started a Reclaiming Our Youth program not long after she arrived, which has had some great programs that we've had within the city. We partner closely with the Boys and Girls Club. I have a mayor's council on early childhood policy and education. We know that there are a lot of great programs in the city that can help our citizens. It's very important that you get to children before the age of 5 to help get them on the right path for education. part of the problem that we have is that there's a lot of our different programs in the city are siloed, you know, within different organizations and universities, and we even have a lot of people who've started their own nonprofits to try to help with these types of issues. So anytime that we can have an event where we can try to get people in the community involved, where we can find out specifically how we can help their children or the schools or any of the activities around the community. A lot of our churches are great at having events for families and for children. And so we're always looking for ways to make sure that we've got the best quality of life in Columbus for our children. I mean, they are our future, obviously. And there's some that need some help. And one of the ways that you do that is bring people together and try to find solutions. So that's, I would say, the primary reason for the event on Thursday. Jamie or Jim, do you have anything to add to that?
No questions, sir.
Okay, no questions? Anything else, Brian? All right, thank you all for being here.